showed deliberate indifference to the complaints and to the treatment that Nassar was using. This was clearly a procedure he did on a regular basis, and he did it with confidence. And MSU did not listen to the complaints that were brought by other victims.
You personally, what are the allegations? What was he doing? You were in club gymnastics, I'm assuming.
That's correct.
What did you seek out from Dr. Nassar, and what procedures did he do that were inappropriate?
I sought out medical treatment for pain in my hips and in my back. And during alleged treatment for my back, he digitally penetrated me repeatedly for extended periods of time, both anally and vaginally, as well as did a breast massage.
At all? Did you report it then? Or at what point did you say this is not right? Or did you know it then?
That's part of the difficulty with this, is because it was under the guise of medical procedure. My presumption was that he could not have risen to this level of prominence and be doing what he was doing. It was impossible to entertain the idea that he could be held out as this physician who had these excellent medical treatments, who could be held up by USAG and MSU as one of their premier physicians, and yet be a predator. So my presumption was that it was legitimate medical treatment.
So just to be clear then, you did not complain to MSU about his practices?
I did not, because it was clear that he was someone that they supported, and I was very confident that my voice would not be heard.
But you know other women that did?
There are other women that have now come forward, yes.
Can somebody talk about the connection between MSU, Twistars, and USAG Gymnastics? Twistars produces some high-level gymnasts, correct? Is that the connection?
No. Well, a couple of things. The Twistars coach is a Olympic coach himself. Dr. Nassar was an Olympic coach. And so Dr. Nassar is being employed with the Michigan State University, but also being an Olympic coach and also coming into contact with USAG themselves along with the coach too. So they knew each other, they were connected. One of the things is when USAG was investigating Nassar, we believe they did not advise other people as to what was going on. Michigan State is saying we didn't hear anything from them. Michigan State, we believe, did not call USAG and advise what was happening and that they had received complaints.
What was the frequency of his assault, and how has it left you today?
It was for the first 5 visits that I saw him. After that, I broke my foot, and so I didn't need treatment for my back any longer. And because I was uncomfortable with the procedures, I simply told him that I did not have any further back pain. And the impacts of assault are devastating. It is not just a wound to the body, it is a wound to the soul, and it will continue for the rest of my life.
You seem so strong today talking about this. How do you do that?
Coming forward publicly has been very difficult. Reliving this on a national scale with an audience has been excruciatingly painful. But there is one motivator that is stronger than fear, and that is love. Love for every young woman that could have walked through his door if I did not take the chance to speak up when that indie store story broke. Love for every young woman that I could not protect in the 16 years where I was questioning myself. And love for every victim that was still living in silence. I am confident every tear will be worth it.
The courage she has had in coming forward has given a number of our clients who still do wish to remain anonymous. Some of them are still minors. But they have indicated the courage of this lady has caused me to have the courage to come forward as well. It's a very difficult thing to adjust, not just for the persons that these things happen to, but for their parents. Very much for their parents.
What did USA Gymnastics know and when?
We are not going to get into the complaint. To some extent speaks for itself. Obviously, the facts are rapidly developing. We're getting calls, on this matter because of the publicity, and we are thankful for that. People are coming forward with information, but a lot of that will have to be done through the lawsuit and through the legal process.
What do
Mr. Drew, are all of your clients, have they also filed criminal complaints with the state police?
Not all of them, most of them have. Most of them have.
What do you hope to accomplish from this suit?
I think there are a number of things. The first and most immediate concern for me was that Dr. Nassar would no longer have access to young girls and children. The second is that the institutional reform needed so that a predator like him cannot flourish in an athletic organization or on a campus. And additionally, simply because I have been in that place as a victim, that other women would have a voice, that they would have the ability to come forward and even to do so anonymously if they chose. My hope with coming forward publicly was that it would start the process that needed to start and give other women the ability to speak in the way that they felt most comfortable.
And some of the changes that our clients have talked about and want, the institutional changes, we hope that those will affect all levels of employees, not just the prominent doctor, but anyone else that may take advantage of those young students and those young ladies or young men. It's not just the level of employee that Dr. Nassar is. It's all employees. And if you have the right systems in place and you vigorously enforce them and you send the message that we are going to vigorously enforce them, that's how you stop these type of things from happening. You don't discourage people from making complaints. When a young lady like Tiffany came to them in the year 2000 and said, "This did not feel right," there was no lawsuit. There was nothing at that time. Why would you not take her seriously and explore it and investigate it vigorously and look at it at that time? If they had done that, many of these plaintiffs would not have been subjected to this man. That is how you stop things.
I think it's important to note that we hear a lot about the culture of abuse. The culture of abuse. And the culture of abuse is not created by predators. It is not as if you take a statistical analysis and say, oh, we have more predators than we have non-predators, therefore we have a culture of abuse. The culture of abuse is created by how we respond to the predators and by how we respond to the victims. And until that culture is changed, predators will continue to follow this pattern because they know they can do so safely.
Do you have anything to say to the doctor yourself right now?
I am grieved. I'm grieved for the unnecessary pain that he has caused so many of us. I am grieved for the pain he is putting his family through. And I am grieved for the waste of manhood that he could have been.
If there's no other questions, thank you very much.